before the finale, the championship race, which stick around after the race because we will have the Wheel of Finales. That's what I'm calling it, but I think it's really the Wheel of Destiny. At the end of the race tonight, during our post-race interviews, we will actually spin the wheel to find out where the drivers of the eSpark Series, the Championship 12, I guess you could say, will be racing it out for a championship. No one knows. I don't even know because it's all going to be random luck. And what do you think about that? What's your opinions on having a wheel decide where we're going to go for the finale?
I like it, man. I mean, it brings a little bit of an unknown, like some people like kind of want to know. They kind of want to start prepping it, especially for those guys who've made it in, are locked into those playoffs, and kind of the guys that are obviously maybe the favorite to make that championship finale race. But I like it. It keeps everybody on their toes.
And the drivers are on the track right now, qualifying it out. We were going to talk to our man Dohar, but let's not do that. Let's ask you a couple of questions. It's your first week back. Red took over the role for you last week, and we got to ask him the hard-hitting questions, so we're going to start with some hard-hitting questions for you. Let's go with your pick and your dark horse for tonight here at Richmond.
Well, it's hard go against Track Bar, obviously. Him and the Bolt, I'm pretty sure they've been both doing their thing since the 2 weeks I've been off. But I'm actually going to go with a guy who needs to win and a guy I know who has the speed to win and the skill to get it done. And that's going to be that 22 car Badeshi.
Oh, going with Brian Tedeschi. Who's your dark horse for this evening?
Dark horse, I'm going to have to go with... See, Chrome's not here tonight. Or at least I don't think he's going to be showing up tonight. So dark horse, I'm going to have to go with J-Mac. I know he's had a little bit of a struggling year, but it's another pro league guy, another guy that I know a lot about. I've raced with quite a bit. I know he's going to bring the equipment tonight to possibly pull one out of the hat.
And, I'm really angry a little bit here because you picked my dark horse. You talk about J-Mac having a difficult season. Last week we interviewed him. He said he was going to be more aggressive, finished out in the top 5. I think he got a top 3 if my memory serves me correctly. And it was the first time we got to see him aggressive, where he stayed up in the top 5 most of the night, racing and competing for a win against the likes of Track Bar, The Bolt, Brian Tedeschi, which is really interesting you say that even though you've been away. I feel like you've been watching the broadcast on your pseudo vacation there.
I may tune in just a little bit here and there. But
So,
yeah, I mean, that's something you learn with running these guys. Me, myself, and I'm a little bit of a cautious driver. I'm not an aggressive person at all out there on the track. But with running these guys through a 12-race season, I kind of learned myself, kind of like J-Mac said he's learned, is you got to be aggressive if you want to win in one of these things.
So you took my dark horse off the table of J-Mac. I might just piggyback and say J-Mac. But tonight, I think I'm going to watch a driver who I feel could be dominant here at Richmond, and that's honestly, I'm going to have to say Dohar. Dohar is going to be my pick for the win. He needs a win to really secure himself into the points. He's right above the cut line, only by 10 points over Chrome Capone, which I'm just finding out right now. Due to family emergencies, Chrome Capone won't be racing, so that means he's now going to have to beat Sledge, which Sledge is 19 points back from that cut line. So Dohar's got a lot of work to do. If Sledge finishes, in the top 5 and Dohar falls back to, 15th or back, it could be a done deal. He could be sitting in his hauler on a Sunday night next week watching this championship instead of racing for it, because that's probably what I would do if I didn't make it. But my dark horse for the night, I'm gonna go with the man who shows he's got some speed. He hasn't been really competitive the past couple of weeks, but I know he's got some speed in that number 6 Ford Mustang. He's got 3 wins on the season. TomTom. TomTom's going to be that dark horse for me this evening.
Yeah, Tom, it's not a bad pick, and honestly, it's kind of hard to even call him a dark horse anymore, honestly, because like you said, with 3 wins on the season, and in my opinion, probably one of the biggest surprises coming out of the eSpark series, that is the number 6 Ford Mustang of TomTom, and the skill set that he has shown. He's a great driver. He's confident. He knows he can get it done, and that's going to promote him well in the playoffs.
Some say he might be cocky, but when you got 3 wins, and you're probably, I think, if I'm looking at the stats right, he's the 2nd highest winner in the league. He's tied with the Bolt, who has 3 wins as well. But the Bolt is our championship point setter right now. He's 2 points above Track Bar. Track Bar's got 4 wins. And then, the Matthew Militia, we hear them every week in the crowd. He's sitting 3rd, only 6 points back from the Bolt with 1 win on the season. So anything could shake up here tonight, but those are some really good picks. Now, we went to Vegas last week. I had dinner with our odds man, Nicky Jobs. He took me to a beautiful buffet at some little hotel. in casino. I spent all my money on the ponies. Still haven't betting on the ponies while I've been away from Vegas. But talking to Nicky, he's like, I can't give you any more picks, man. You're screwing up my odds here. I'm trying to make money on these. A bookie life is a bookie life. But I want to talk to you about what you're over under. We know it's Richmond. Richmond can be tricky. It can be a very difficult track. It's tight. It's almost a short track in itself. Those corners can get slick off the exit. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking 5, and you do say Richmond. Richmond is very tricky, especially in turns 3 and 4. If you knit that apron in one time, it can actually force you down pit road, but not only force you, it will literally stop you right on the track, and that's going to cause a lot of chaos with people running into each other.
I agree with you on that one, and I'm going to actually go a little bit higher. I'm going to say 7 to 8 with the over on that. I'm not going to go the under, but I'm going to go the over. I think the max we might see is 10. We've seen it historically in the eSpark series. Once we get into that last 15 to 20 laps, if a caution comes out, those backfield drivers get very aggressive and try to bully their way through. And at a track like Richmond, you can't do that unless you're planning on killing the entire field on your way through your way up front.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think Dohar out here saying Q is done. So my guess is qualifying is done. We'll be loading up in here soon, Zane.
We will be loading in here soon. And I think I actually got a chance right now. If the man, the myth, the Doharian Snowcat, as our pit road reporter, Red, likes to call him, I think I might have him on the radio. Red, or not Red, but Dohar, you got a copy.
Got a copy, HD and Zane.
All right, my man. So you're sitting 10 points above the cut line, 19 points now that we know Chrome Capone won't be able to make it. He was the third driver in place, sitting in that third spot. You got Sledge behind you, Stout Whiskey 24 points behind you. What do you have to do tonight besides win? Because we know win and you're in. What do you have to do as a driver to lock yourself into that championship race next week?
Right now, we just got to take care of the car. We just got to manage our race as best we can. Try to be a little bit more aggressive than we've been in weeks past. Kind of when we're going lenient, we get caught in the back of the pack and get in some accidents or get caught up in somebody else's mess. So tonight, we're just going to try and go for it and just be aggressive and try and stay in the top 10 all night long.
Well, he says he's going to stay in the top 10 HD. Hopefully we'll see that happen. Good luck to you tonight, Dohar. We hope to see you in pit road or in victory lane. And HD, I think you have somebody for an interview.
Yeah, Sledgehammer, HD, you got a copy. Sledgehammer, it's HD, you got a copy, man.
Yes, sir.
Sledge, you're currently sitting 19 points out of the cutoff line. Tell me, is your aggressive level going to be putting up through the roof this race?
Yeah, we got to be aggressive, but we also got to understand that, making up 19 points on someone as fast as Dohar is going to be pretty tough. So, I mean, we can slide in on points if he wins or if Big John wins, but I got to go try and win this thing.
There you go, man. Hey, I just got to know one thing. You willing to put the bumper to someone?
Yeah, on the last lap, probably. Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Hey, good luck tonight. Have my eye out for you.
Thank you.
And I'm actually running down pit road right now. He's getting out of his car here, and I got the one, the only, the 22 driver for Penske Racing in that Ford Mustang, Brian Tedeschi. Brian, how you feeling tonight?
Doing good. Actually got my technology working here. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. So last week at Las Vegas, you were a strong, dominant car. You had an incident at the end of the race. Some may say the honeymoon is over between you and the 37 of Mr. Track Bar. Tempers have flared, and they've gone throughout the week. Can you talk about that relationship with you and Track Bar going through this week? Are you guys still buddy? Have you buried the hatchet? Or is this a situation where you might spin him out for a win tonight?
At the end of the day, we're still buddies. I've known him for 11 years. As much as we may fight and argue like siblings, we're still good buddies. So the big thing is just can't let this stuff get in between us, kind of buried the hatchet and moved on to Richmond.
So who bought dinner, you or Track Bar?
I had to buy dinner, so that's always how that works.
Well, you're 28 points back from the cut line. Winning you're in tonight, what are you going to have to do to put that 22 Pennzoil machine into victory lane?
Just about anything. I think the car is really, really strong. Short tracks are one of I feel like is my strong suit on this game. I think we got a good long run car, may not fire off as good on the short run, but I think the overall is, like you said, win and we're in. So just run as hard as you can for as long as you can.
Well, good luck to you tonight, Tedeschi, and hopefully you and Track Bar don't get into it because I don't want to hear anybody more fisticuffs throughout the week. You got a piece from what we hear, so good luck to you, man, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane at the end of this race.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for broadcasting.
Yeah.
Zane, nothing's gonna break that guy up right there. Him and Track Bar. I heard Track Bar blew his Minecraft world up, and they're still about left to go. I don't know if race on NASCAR Heat 4, man. They're gonna be friends for the rest of their lives.
Wait.
Get outta here.
Did he blow up the Minecraft NASCAR Hall of Fame? Is that what happened? Because
I don't know.
what you don't know, HD, is they actually spend a lot of time on Minecraft. These guys have been trying to get me into Minecraft to race with them. They have the NASCAR Hall of Fame. They have a couple of short tracks from real life they've recreated in that world. They have Scott Cole's chili dog stand, and they keep trying to get me to eat some chili dogs. I'm just like, they're virtual chili dogs. They're not going to supply my appetite. But those guys are really good friends. We do know they get heated week in, week out sometimes. You know, Track Bar is an aggressive driver who always wants to win. When he feels he has a chance for a shot in victory lane, he doesn't get it. He does kind of, go off the handle sometimes, but that's racing. We've all been in that position where we get heated. We're so involved into that moment. So it's good to hear those guys are kind of working things out, and everything's copacetic on that side of the field.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know that firsthand. Usually I'm a cool, calm, collective guy. Nothing really gets to me. But go back to that Indianapolis race in the Pro League. Oh, my Lord, I don't even know what happened. I think I called Dohar the F-bomb a couple times in there. I'm sure he remembers that.
No, I never forgot that. I never forgot that. Hey, invites are out, guys. So.
Dohar, I assume you're the host again as well?
Yeah.
All right, let me take a look here. Look for that invite. Looking. Hold on. I don't see it either.
There we go.
I don't see it still.
Take it.
No, not yet. Hold on. I'm still looking for mine. Mine's running a little slow here. Oh, wait, there. I see him. I see the invite.
Take it yet, HD.
Wait for it. I'll let you know, HD, when you can accept the invite.
All right, buddy. Just let me
Take
know, man.
it. Take that invite, and let's load into this race here at Richmond. 200 laps. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be awesome. It's the penultimate race before the finale, where the mystery controller will be, where the mystery race will be, should I say. And I want to give a good shout out to Chad over here. We have Harvick, NASCAR 2017 Harvick, Repeat, HD, you know Mr. Repeat over there in the chat.
Oh, yeah. I love Repeat.
K Harvick fan. We got a lot of people hanging out watching this race for eSpark. As always, tell your mom, tell your friends, tell your grandma. It's the best racing on a Sunday night for custom setups. Over 35 drivers racing it out in the eSpark series, or should I say the FilterTime eSpark series, getting ready to do battle for 200 plus laps.
And it's going to be an exciting one. Short track, tippers are going to flare early on, especially with them guys clawing their way, fighting their way to get into that top spots to continue into the playoffs.
And I can't wait to see what's going to happen. The drivers are getting into their car right now. We're still loading into the session, waiting on the drivers. But I'm really excited to see how bad this battle between the Bolt and Track Bar is going to end up. These guys have been David and Goliath week in, week out, battling like it's for their life here. And the drivers are on the track, and we're getting ready to go green as the green flag is out.
Yeah, green flags in the air here at Richmond Raceway. There is that 18 of the Bolt down low, got the pole position, and look no farther because that 37 of Mr. Track Bar is right on his bumper, followed by the 17 of Fluffy.
The 17 of Fluffy, they're going to single file out as we come through turn 3, off of turn 4, 18, 37, 17, and I think that looks like the 12 car of Tetro back there behind the 17.
Yeah, making my way back here. That's actually the 22 car
Ooh.
of Brian Badeschi. So he's putting in work early on in qualifying, running P4. Right behind him is going to be that 88 of Dohar. Right behind Dohar, it looks like it's going to be the 47 of Sledgehammer. So the guys who need a good race, running good early on.
And we're watching the battle right now for the lead. You look at the Bolt and Track Bar. They pulled away from Fluffy about 4 car lengths as we dive into turn 3 here. And look at the gap. These two are nose to tail in each other's tire tracks, not giving an inch.
That's how it is every week. I mean, it's kind of how we expected to go between the 18 and the 37. They always seem to find themselves around each other. It's always for 1 and 2. Now, you said Track Bar's got 4 wins. Bolt has 3. Bolt would love, I guarantee, love to tie it up here to enter the regular season.
And whoever finishes in front of each other here, the 18 or the 37, is going to go into that finale mystery race as the points leader. Right now, we're seeing the Bolt doing what he does best. He's getting a little squirrely off of 2. He's tank slapped the wall twice now, but he's still holding off that hard-charging Camaro of the 37.
Yeah, as they went through turns 3 and 4 there, Track Bar was able to stay a little bit lower than the Bolt. That's going to allow Track Bar to sneak up within a car length. Bolt again running a little bit high in turns 1 and 2. Bolt might be dealing with a tight condition.
Looks like he's dealing with a tight condition because here comes the 37 with the head full of steam as we're looking up the rear deck lid of the Bolt in that 18 Interstate battery Toyota Camry, and there's about a car length of gap between him and the 37 as they dive into 1 HD.
Yeah, behind these guys, the 22 Badeshi moves up to 3rd place, got by the 17 of Fluffy, but they're separated about 10 car lengths. So Badeshi's running good, but he needs to win.
Hey, Tedeschi did what he needed to do. He got Fluffy out of his way. He's moved himself into 3rd. Oh, we got a car going to the infield down the front stretch. I can't get a number on that, but it looks like we might stay green here.
Yeah, he was able to hold it together down there, cutting the grass. Good thing it's not too tall, didn't tear that front end off. But yeah, he did a good job keeping control of it. Down in turn 1, that can be very tricky, shooting up to the track just for how tight Richmond Raceway is.
With these tight conditions right now, we're seeing Track Bar really start to close that gap again. He's up on the bumper about half a car length away. He got a little loose coming off of 4, possibly tight, and he had to jerk that wheel to the left there just to keep it off the wall. But now he is right there in the tailpipes, ready to make a move.
Yeah, he's right on a bumper of the 18 of the Bolt, and you know someone who is loving this right now, it's going to be the 22 of Badeshi, and I think caution
is
might be out.
Yeah, it looks like a caution is out here at Richmond. That's the first caution on lap. Let's take a look here. What lap did that come on? I think lap 8? Lap 9? So you know these guys are going to go down pit road, HD, get 4 fresh tires, a couple of Dr. Feelgoods, a full tank of Sunoco virtual race fuel as we get ready to go green. It looks like the 21 was involved in that incident. I see him in the back with a lot of front-end damage here as we're bouncing through the cameras and we're taking a look.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened during that wreck, but yeah, 21's definitely got quite a bit of damage. But getting up to those, and the 19's got a lot of front-end damage. That's the 19 of Freddie. His front end is all mashed in. So I'm going to go ahead and take a guess that the 19's front end met the 21's rear end and got together and made a little boo-boo. But right here, we got our lead chains up front. That's going to be the 34 of Stout Whiskey. The current race leader with the 11 on the outside. Green flags in the air yet again at Richmond.
Green flag is out here at Richmond as we're bouncing through the cameras. I'm trying to track the action, but I'm lost real quick. There we go. Off of turn 1, down the backstretch. And look who's in the lead, HD. Track Bar, the Bolt in 3rd. Brian Tedeschi, we talked to him in pre-race, sitting there in 4th, and then, or 3rd. And then Fluffy, the 17 car, sitting there in 4th. And I think Dohar's rounding out our top 5.
Yeah, Dohar's running in 5th. Right behind him is going to be the 6 of Tom Tom, followed by Tom Tom and P7 is going to be the 47 of Sledgehammer, who is, again, 19 points out from making the chase. He needs a good run as it looks like the 22 of Badeshi slaps that outside wall coming out of turn 4. He's going to drop back to 4th place. And Zane, when you get a moment, there's a little bit of an echo with me coming back through your mic.
Yeah, you're a little loud. You are screaming at the moment. If you just want to bring yourself down, or I can bring you down in Discord real quick here. But you are a little loud. Let's try this real quick. Try it for me now, HD. Give us a call.
I'm sorry, I was trying to mess with my mic and I actually muted myself. All right, got any better echo?
No, you're a little soft now. You really muted yourself good.
All right, you got me, Zane?
Oh, that was loud. All right, go for it. Just start talking. You call the race. I'll produce.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. You mess with the mic, Bob, while I'm out here looking at these guys. Mr. Track Bar is your current race leader up here. The Bolt is running P2 about half a car length behind him. Now that 22, but as you slapped the wall a couple of laps ago, coming out of turn 4 down the front stretch, was able to get by that 88 of Dohar, so move that 22 at the P3. Right on the 18's bumper. Dohar running P4. Right behind him is going to be the 17 of Fluffy.
And I think we might be good. Chat will let us know if the audio sucks, but you know what? It's a live production. That's what happens. We do it live as Track Bar is leading this field, the 37, the 18, the 22, the 88, and poor old Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. in the 17, 4 car lengths back in 5th.
Yeah, he's kind of cruising by himself. himself. I think he needs to make a few more adjustments if he wants to run up here with the top 4. You know, Dohart's actually impressing me right now. That first green run, it was 8 laps or whatever. He kind of fell off a bit. He fell outside of the top 5, I think, or was just running in 5th place. He is now hanging up here with the 18 in the Bolt and the 37.
You know what's funny?
He definitely made some good pit stop adjustments.
I was gonna say, you know what's funny is last week Red was so low, I had to boost him to max and then have him scream, "You are so loud, I don't know what to do with you. You're like an angry child right now, just screaming at me." But I think we got you good. We'll find out. Repeat says he couldn't hear you, but I boosted your audio again as we're watching this battle for first place between the 37 and the 18.
That's because when I get in the booth, saying I bring the party, man. I bring the party.
Or you've been drinking some of that stout whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not really a whiskey drinker, but yeah, man, starting to separate a little bit up here in the top 4. You know, I just talked about how Dohar was able to hang up here with the 37, the 18 of Mr. Track Bar in the Bolt. Dohar now dropping off just a bit. It looks like the 22 of Badeshi starting to drop off just a bit because he's about 2 to 3 car lengths back.
About 2 to 3 car lengths back. We're looking up the rear deck lid right now of the 37 with this battle between him and the Bolt. And here comes Brian Tedeschi starting to close that gap up and do everything he can to catch these top 2 cars.
Yeah, right there down into the 1 and 2. That 18 in the Bolt actually hit the apron, washed all the way up the. Can you hear me? Because my computer screen just went.
No, I hear you. Keep going.
We're good. Yeah,
Screensaver happens.
We're good. Yeah, I've never had it happen before. That's the thing. But yeah, no, Bolt actually hit the apron there. Get a little loose coming out of 2. Able to hold on to it, though. Stay about a car length and a half off of Mr. Track Bar.
And we got our first car down pit road. That's like the 34 of Stout Whiskey bringing that Mustang down pit road as the leaders are going to put him a lap down here.
He's not going to go a lap down. He's going to go 2 laps down here. And I think that was a miscue on that last caution. Remember, that 34 and the 11 were out in front. I think they forgot to hit the A button, forgot the pit. He was left. There goes the 11 right there, right on cue. These guys needed to come down because they were about to run out. That was a costly mistake.
And I'm bouncing through the field right now, trying to find the man, the myth, the 22 of Brian Tedeschi, as we're looking off the front end, HD, at this battle between the Bolt and Track Bar. We see the distance between Tedeschi and the Bolt in the 18 in second place.
Yeah, I mean, go back to the pre-race meeting you had with him during your interview. He said he's not quite sure if he has the speed there on the first part of the run, right? But he did say he has a good long run car. Maybe those tires are just starting to come in. Before you know it, he might be on the 18 in the Bolt's bumper.
And the Bolt slamming the outside wall there a little bit. He's going to create a lot of space between the 37 and the 18 now. He's going to play catch-up with Track Bar as the 11 now coming off of pit road.
Yeah, 11 coming off the pit road, staying down there nice and good. He's got heavy front-end damage on that car. Now that's going to allow, though, with Bolt's miscue coming out of turn 4, getting tight, slapping the outside wall to 22. Badeshi is right there, about 2.5 car lengths off of him. But Bolt looks like he's steadily starting to drive away.
Bolt trying to get back into his rhythm as we go down the backstretch, diving into turn 3. It is a 3-car gap between Track Bar and the Bolt, but a 2.5 car gap between the 22 and the 18.
Yeah, Bolt, you know he is fuming at himself, but he needs to remain calm. He needs to remain relaxed. You know you have the car to keep up with Track Bar, and I actually think he's starting to chase Track Bar back down. So maybe it's the Bolt with the long run car. Someone to look out for if this thing goes green.
What we have to really wonder, though, is what are these guys going to do under the first green flag caution? We're seeing a couple of guys still a little tight on the track. If they make some adjustments, we know the Bolt has done it before, made a few adjustments on pit road that loosened the car up way too much as we see Track Bar get a little tight off the exit. And now we're into turn 3, still single filed out between the 37, the 18, and the 22.
Yeah, the 18 is definitely catching that 37. 37 is looking tight on the long run. Now you look behind that 22 Badeshi, who's running P4. That's still going to be the 17 of Fluffy, but Fluffy is way off the pace, about the whole backstretch off of the pace now behind Fluffy. Couldn't really get a number that maybe.
That's going to be the 88 of Dohar.
Oh, the 88 of Dohar. So their position flopped. So Dohar back to 5th place behind Dohar. Looks like it might be the 6th of Tom Tom.
6 of Tom Tom. Definitely looks like that's going to be back him behind Dohar. But let's see. It looks like the Bolt has closed that gap, HD, between him and Track Bar. Now less than a car length away. Bolt goes low, middle groove off of 4. We dive into turn 1, still single filed out, and the Bolt is to Track Bar's bumper.
He caught him. I mean, you can say yourself, man, I was a little worried. I thought with him hitting the wall, his car was done. He used that right front tire up. I stand corrected because the Bolt is here and he's ready to tango.
The Bolt's ready to dance. You say it all the time. A focus bolt is a deadly bolt, and it looks like he's back in that rhythm because he's right there in the tire grooves in the draft, ready to pounce on a deadly hurt Track Bar.
Yeah, when you say hurt, I like to call that a wounded gazelle.
I
think we got a little bit of wounded gazelle. It's a little bit surprising to be calling Mr. Track Bar the wounded gazelle, but the Bolt is hungry. He wants win number 4 on the season. Here he is.
Go ahead. Sorry to mean to interrupt you, HD. Go ahead.
You're good. I was going to say, here he is, right on his bumper, coming down the front stretch.
And we're looking off the front end of the Bolt. Watch the Bolt as he goes through the corners here. He's going to swing it way out wide, a little bit farther. Oh, no, they changed positions a little bit. Last lap, Bolt was able to swing that car so high off the exit and get the momentum, while Track Bar now swings it out wide. Bolt uses the middle groove. We come off of 3 and 4, and it looks like Bolt can't quite close the gap now.
Yeah, there's that little bit of bubble, but look right in front of Track Bar. We got lap traffic, and actually looks like that might be the 3 of J-Mac up here, getting ready, getting lapped. He's running the high line. He sees these guys coming. I don't think J-Mac's going to put up too much of a fight. He kind of knows, racing ethics, and he's very courteous out there on the track, so I expect him to go up to the high line. But look at the lines between the Bolt and Track Bar. Track Bar's entering low, staying low. The Bolt, on the other hand, got a little interesting line. He's entering a little higher, arcing it in, hitting the apex, and then riding it off towards the wall, following Track Bar. I think that's really helping him save the tires.
And I think Bolt also realizes if he hits that apron anywhere in those corners, it's going to send him flying. But now they've caught the 3 of J-Mac. He's going to slide out of the way, let these leaders race. The Bolt right there in the shadow of Track Bar as we dive into 3.
Yeah, excuse me, it actually wasn't J-Mac. That was
the 31 of J Fast. Yep.
J-Mac, J Fast, J something. I was kind of close, right? We just wing it up here in the booth. That's how I roll. But yeah, the Bolt, I think he knows he's got a better car than Mr. Track Bar right now. I kind of expect him to hang out, relax during this first green flag pit stop. That is bound to happen within the next couple laps.
And we know the Bolt has been a tactician. He's letting Track Bar all season do the heavy lifting for him. Let him stay out front. Let him lead the lap so we can burn those fuel and tires up. And I think we're seeing a repeat of that right now.
Yeah, as these guys come around turns 3 and 4, green flag pit stops are definitely underway because there's that 25 car bouncing out right behind these guys. Excuse me, that's actually the 32. Go fast, Matt.
The Matthew Militia a little quiet here tonight.
25.
Is it a 25? Oh, it is. It's a custom orange and black Hooters car for that Chevrolet 25, which is going to be D. Carroll out there tonight. And it looks like these drivers just completed, looks like lap 44 of 200. So you know these guys are going to come down pit road very soon here. Question is, who's going to be the first one? The 37 or the 18?
I don't really know if you can save a whole lot of gas in the draft here at Richmond Speedway, considering how slow you're going. My guess is going to be the 37 of Mr. Track Bar. But with that being said, I think if Bolt sees Track Bar come down, he might just come down right behind him. And here comes Track Bar. Look like Track Bar might be singling or got wicked loose. I think he got wicked loose that time out of 2.
Yep, he's still going green here, coming off of turn 4, down the front stretch. A lot of lap traffic in front of these leaders.
Yeah, but they're both going to play it smart here. The 41 car, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the 41 of Austin Dillon 3, running up towards the wall. So good racing ethics from him as a 25 of Carroll, man, just kind of hanging out here behind these guys. Yeah, he's got fresher tires, but he knows what the hands have dealt in front of him. I don't think anybody's touching the 37 or 18 tonight.
You got the 22 though, still sitting back. He's about 15 car lengths back from the 18. He's still here with these guys. So if the 18 or the 37 make a mistake, 22's ready to pounce.
He's in striking distance. I'll definitely give him that. If there's a little bit of mistake, as there's too wide action right in front of our race leaders, you know Track Bar doesn't want to see that as they get single filed down into turn 3.
Through turn 3, off of turn 4. Bolt is right there behind Track Bar in the 37 car. Like a shadow with the sun setting, but he can't quite make a move to get up to his quarter panel around them as we come off of 2.
Yeah, as we come off of 2, right in front of Track Bar, that's going to be the 20 car of Leafs Justin. Leafs Justin running a little low, but I think he's going to give the line to that 37 of Mr. Track Bar. There's that 34 car coming down. He's going to give him plenty of room.
These guys are spreading the Red Sea right now, or should I say the eSpark Sea, as they're getting 3 wide behind them. Oh, Bolt's coming down pit road right now. That's going to leave Track Bar all alone on the track, but Track Bar did scrape the outside wall on that backstretch.
Yeah, I don't know if that was by design or the Bolt just got wicked loose, and he said, you know what, it's time to pit anyway. But I fully expect that 37 to come down this time by. If he doesn't, he might lose a ton of time to the 18, and actually he's going one more lap, Zane.
He's staying out one more lap. Let's watch this 37. He's trying to put the Bolt a couple of laps down, but he's only going to do it once because I don't think he can stay out much longer as the Bolt is now in his stall. The 17 just finished his changes. He's off of pit road.
Yeah, 17 of Fluffy's off of pit road. That should be able to help him gap that cars up just a bit. Looks like he pitted one more lap before the 18 and the 37. 37 of Mr. Track Bar is down.
Now, I'm watching here. I see the 88 of Dohar still on the track. I don't know if he pitted yet. We're lap 53, I think, here. Nope. Yep, lap 53, 54 of 200. So the question is Dohar doing his tactics? Is he pulling that fuel-saving strategy right now with the 6 car of TomTom right behind him?
Yeah, he's got the 6 car Tom. I think he is. TomTom looks like he's coming down. Oh, no, I thought he was coming down right now. It looked like he was trying to arc it down there, getting into pit lane. That's actually the 32 of Go Fast, Matt, right behind that 88 of Dohar, and he's going to pass him with these. So, yeah, Dohar, I think, is running those tactics.
And Track Bar.
Trying to stretch.
And Track Bar has finished his pit road stop here. He's now off of pit road, back onto the track. The question is, though, all eyes on this 88, when he's going to pull this Chevrolet Camaro down pit road to get some changes and 4 fresh tires and fuel.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back up the Track Bar just to see where he came out compared to the Bolt. And actually, through that pit cycle, Track Bar is about 15 car lengths in front of the Bolt.
Ooh. Well, you also got to think the Bolt had to drop off. He got slideways off of the exit of 2, had to regather that car, throw it down pit road. It's possible he might have got a speeding penalty on entry. We'll have to wait and see as this race shakes out to see what happens.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see. But yeah, Track Bar's out here in front. He's got the fresher tires. But
and Dohar on pit road.
Dohar on pit road now. So Dohar went about 5 to 7 laps more than these guys.
So now we're going to see if we can't find the man, the myth, the legend, Track Bar. But we know Dohar's probably going to still be our leader unless he gets caught, unless the Track Bar gets caught up to him here. But looking at this gap on this green flag run, you have the 37, the 18, and the 22. The closest cars right now in this run is the 22 and the 18.
Yeah, I mean, you got Badeschi back here to 22. He's kind of cruising out. These guys are kind of separated about 5 to 7 car lengths as they head down a backstretch. Looks like the yellow car, I think that's the 9, coming off of pit road. He's going to foul right behind that 22. No clue if that's for a position or not, though.
I don't think it's for position. I saw that 9 car come off the pit road as those guys came into 1, so that's definitely not for position at this moment. But really, the question is, where's Dohar? Where's Dohar in this lineup? We know he was staying out for longer than these guys. He's probably using that fuel-saving gear that he's been known and notorious for. Now let's see if we can't find him. There he is. He's back here right in front of Track Bar. The 37 is about, I want to say, 15 car lengths back from the 88. And I know he's busy. All you got to scream is, are you still in the lead, Dohar? Say yes or no.
I pitted.
He's not in the lead anymore. We know that now.
37's the leader.
Thank you. So we know who the leader is this time, the 37. Let's find him again. As Dohar got sideways, and we're not going to blame us for that one because he should know better than to talk and drive. He should have just said no.
Hey, man, I don't want to talk. Last time I talked to Dohar in the middle of a race, he yelled at me.
Last time I talked to Dohar in the middle of a race, he said he wanted to have a stern talking to at the 18 car of the Bolt.
Yeah, we need to talk about that, by the way.
Oh, man, I love it. You hate to see it. But yeah, here is that 37 and track bar, your race leader, like you just said. Now looking back here towards the 18 of the Bolt, I think something happened with the Bolt, Zane, because he is barely in the picture.
He might have made a bad adjustment. We talked about it earlier as this
Caution
first
out on the speedway.
caution is out. And you know what, HD, we talked about it earlier in that first stint, that if the Bolt made a bad adjustment on pit road, we could see him suffer. And it looks like this might be the saving grace for that 18 Toyota Camry.
It might be the saving grace for a couple of other people out there who are about to go a lap down to that 37 at track bar. This caution changes the game. We're about 63, 65 laps into this thing, just over a quarter of a way.
Just over a quarter away, and you know, this is what probably Brian in the 22, Fluffy in the 17, and Dohar in the 88 wanted to see. This is going to tighten the field back up, give them a shot to run down these leaders and try to put them out front.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that 22, but actually he should be starting P3 up there. He is starting P3. This should be a good run for him. He might be a little bit aggressive. Stay tuned to find out, because green flags in the air here at Richmond Raceway, brought to you by FilterTime as they file down into turn 1.
2 by 2 by 2. Everyone is not given an inch. Track bar is going to lead him off of turn 2. That's going to open the door for Tedeschi on the inside of the 18. Now he's battling with the Bolt in turn 3.
Yeah, as he's battling with the Bolt in turn 3, looks like there's that 32. A go fast. Man, there's a huge leg by the 37 of Mr. Track Bar. Takes the 22 Tedeschi out. He's going to drop back to third.
He saved it. He maintained it. He opened his own lawn care service, but still able to hard charge up to the 18 with the 32 of Matt behind him, and they're too wide with the 48, the 17 behind him.
Good Lord almighty, I don't know what that was, but that was a lag spike from the 37 Mr. Track Bar. You know what I think happened, Zane? I think someone's downstairs installing one of those new FilterTime filters to make Mr. Track Bar's house smell great and clean, and they might have hit the Wi-Fi thing.
I didn't know FilterTime filters use Wi-Fi, but you know what? They could have been ordering FilterTime filters on the Wi-Fi to get new filters for the house, and when they submitted that order, it just caused a lag to happen as we look off the rear deck lid of the 18, looking back at the distance that caused with the 22 behind him.
And the 18's right behind him. Now the 22, but as she's now a little bit off the pace after that. I think he saw Jesus flash before his eyes there for a minute. He said, you know what? My race is done. Guess what, buddy? It's not. You're still sitting in third place, running strong.
Hey, HD, he probably needed a new fire suit after that incident, but he's still in third. But now we got a battle for the lead as the 18 is right on the bumper of the 37 as we dive into turn 1 once again.
Yeah, we diving into turn 1, and there's the Bolt yet again, running about a half a lane higher than that 37. I really do think that's helping him save that right tire. He's able to arc it a little bit more to where Track Bar is kind of loading that right front up, and it's just causing it to wear a little bit more than I think the Bolt.
He's digging it as hard as he can. He's putting that car on the yellow line while the Bolt is really just letting it float there in that middle to low groove and still getting a great run off the corner. Oh, and it looks like Track Bar might have got a little loose going into 1 there. Or 3, sorry, 3, as we come off of 4 down the front stretch once again. And look at these two, nose to tail, following in each other's tire tracks. No one's given an inch.
Yeah, you know, I honestly don't think the Bolt is in any hurry. You know, we're only about coming up to 70 laps into this race, not even halfway. I think he's kind of studying. He's kind of seeing what he can do to pass Track Bar. Now, I think he can get it done, but I think he's really trying to exploit his weaknesses in front of him.
And the Track Bar hasn't shown many weaknesses, except for a few mishaps off the exit of turn 2 where he's gotten loose and almost slipped the outside wall, but he's been strong all night. and the Bolt's been about this distance. Maybe he is half throttling and he's floating it into the corners instead of driving it harder than he should.
Yeah, I just don't think he's interested to pass. I just, he's could have done it a couple times. He looked low a couple times, but he just like, you know what, man, we're good. We're going to run away from everybody, and that's exactly what they are doing, because you look behind them, that 22 of Badeschi is well over 10 car lengths away, and it looks like that might be the 48 of more smoke there running P4.
That is going to be the 48 of more smoke in P4 with Go Fast Matt in the 32 rounding out our top 5 as we hit the stripe once again. But you know what, not Brian, but HD, it's a little chilly in my house. Let's do an old-fashioned filter time cranker up so we can turn the heat up here.
Crank it up, baby.
HD filter time, keeping you warm, keeping you cold, making your house smell great. And that was a quick filter time. Crank it up here at Richmond for the eSpark series as we're on board looking from the front windshield of the 18 as he's trying to trace down track bar on that 37.
Yeah, and coming back after that crank it up session again, huge shout out to Filter Time for the league sponsor here in eSpark series. Can't thank them guys enough for putting their name on eSpark. But yeah, nothing much has changed. The Bolt is still kind of riding it out here. He's kind of fell back right there, messing up down into turn 3 to about 2 car lengths. But I fully expect him to close that gap back up. That's exactly what he's doing coming through turns 1 and 2. Now looking back behind these guys, 22 Badeschi, 48 of the more smoke. They're still kind of slowly falling off the pace.
They're slowly falling off the pace here as I'm watching the 22 of Tedeschi. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but he's also got a lot of gap between him and the 48, so not a lot of pressure coming from that 48 car of a more smoke. So Tedeschi could just ride out and wait for that next green flag cycle or pray for another caution to come out. But I don't think anyone's got anything for this 18 and 37 car.
I hate saying it because I really do want to announce some other people, but I don't think so either, Zane. I think the 37 and the 18 the Bolt are, again, kind of in a league of their own. They're always like this, 1, 2. Now, yeah, we've got all the winners, but it kind of seems like a common theme here. But, hey, shout out to these guys for bringing it every single week. They are showing why they are 2 of the best on NASCAR Heat 4.
Every week, it's like a heavyweight championship fight. The Bolt and track bar, now they're up to lap traffic. That's the 19 of Freddie. He's going to move out of their way as they come through turn 3 and 4. The Bolt still on the tire tracks of the 37 as they come down the front stretch.
Yep, coming down the front stretch here into turn 1. 19 of Freddie right there going a lap down. Look at him. He's got heavy front end damage on that car. Kind of looking like a modified with those front wheels sticking out the side. But going back there's Brian Badeschi still kind of trailing off just a bit. He's extended his lead some on that 48 of a more smoke. Here's the 17 of Fluffy just bouncing out a little bit. He's running about 7th place with the 32 of Go Fast Matt in front of him.
You say it a lot, and I want to say this again. A focus bolt is a deadly bolt, and we're seeing that. For the start of this season, we thought it was the track bar show. Mr. Track Bar, the short track king, he was going to win everything. And here he's got his rival, the best way to put it, his rival in the eSpark series, right in his shadows, in his tailpipes. All he needs to do is get to that corner panel, and it could change the face of this race. Because I don't think Track Bar could maintain on that outside line if someone got on the inside of him.
No, and I don't think really anybody can. Talking about Richmond Raceway, this track is kind of set up. It's a one groove track. Now, 3 and 4, you might be able to get a little bit higher. But then again, if someone gets to the inside, they're kind of just going to clear you off of turn 4. If they don't clear you off of turn 4, they're definitely going to clear you off of turn 2 coming down the backstretch. And that's why I kind of think Bolt, we're stuttering there a little bit. I think that's why Bolt is kind of riding it out. He's, like I said, he's examining that wounded gazelle in front of him. I think Bolt right now is the head wolf of the pack, and he's actually looking low here down the front stretch into turn 1. We got a race for the lead.
I guess he heard us talking, HD, because he's forced track bar up to the high line as we come off of turn 2, but can't quite stay on his quarter panel. Single filing back out as we go into turn 3.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a message from the Bolt saying, hey, buddy, yeah, I got a good car. You're not the only king of the short tracks. A la Scott Cole, calling Mr. Track Bar a short track racer, the king of it. Bolt saying, I am here, and I'm ready to tango, baby, at Richmond.
It's a great battle that we're seeing up here up front between the 18 and the 37. But really, we got other guys that are battling for a transfer spot in this race. You got Big John, Dohar, Sledge, Badeschi. Badeschi's right now looking really good where he's sitting at the moment. We're on lap 94 of 200, and this race is starting to wind down fast. Only about 106 laps left in this race.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, though. If I'm those guys still fighting for those final spots, they'll make that chase race. I'm not panicking yet. I'm not hitting the panic button yet, and especially from that 22 car of Badeschi. I think he's maybe got to free that thing up a tick or two more if he wants to contend for this race win.
And that was a tense moment there between the 31. It looks like he hit a lag spike a little bit right in front of our leader, straightened it out. No one got into an incident, but that caused a little bit of separation between the 18 and the 37.
It caused a little bit, but it's quickly closing back up as they come through turns 3 and 4. Bolt now about a car length away from Mr. Track Bar as they dive it down into turns 1 and 2. Zane, I think within the next 10 laps, green flag pit stop should be under the way.
The question becomes who's going to go down pit road first, the 37 or the 18. Last time it was Track Bar. Really, that didn't help the 18 of the Bolt. He might want to go with them to see if he can't beat him off that pit road exit and stay in front of him. Because right now, Track Bar's showing he's got that short and long run speed.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much separating from these guys. One makes a mistake, the other one catches right up, the other one makes a mistake, the other one catches up. I mean, they're just so identical. It's not even funny. They must be Siamese twins out here in Richmond.
We Siamese, if you please, from Lady and the Tramp. If you remember that movie, might be a little too old for you. But hey, as we're watching, it looks like, the Bolt got a little tight off of 2, had to swing it way down to the apron to keep it from hitting the outside wall. And as this run's been going on, HD, I've seen a lot of that happen from the 18 and the 37. They come off of turn 2, they almost pancake that outside wall, and it's a hard wheel jerk to keep them straight.
Yeah, if I remember correctly from Richmond Raceway, it's one of those tracks where you do want to make your car as loose can be. And when you get to the end of those tire lights, you're basically turning right, coming out of the corners, to be able to not spin out.
And now they're coming to more lap traffic. The 9 car coming off the pit road. He's going to stay down low, let them race off of turn 2. But these two, this 37 to 18, just in their own zip code right now. It's like they're pen pals trying to run from the law.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say about them anymore, honestly. That's how much we talk about them. I just don't know. These guys are just all over each other. You can throw a blanket over them as they come down the backstretch. I see cars trickling down pit road. There they are. There's a 19 of Freddie. It looks like it's being followed by the 47 of Sledgehammer.
And Sledgehammer, one of those transfer drivers right below the cut line. He needs a good race tonight. And now he's another lap down here at Richmond.
Yeah, I don't know who is not a lap down outside of that 22 car. Badeschi, 17, 6, and 88. I mean, there's got to be almost half the field a lap down due to the 37, the 18's just relentless pace. I mean, you look at it. These guys are on older tires. This night car is on fresh tires as the 18 gets
Oh,
low.
the 66 wrecked off it going into 3. Oh, track bar just killed the 25. Caution is out on the track.
I think caution was out already before track bar got to him, so he had no control of his car. The AI just said, "What's up, Carroll?" and rear-ended him coming out of turn 4.
You know what that reminded me of, HD? The truck race from Daytona. When I don't remember the driver's name that slammed into a fiery fireball on that accident. That's almost what track bar did. It was like, oh, well, I guess I'm here. But we'll have to wait to see how this breaks down. Dohar, you got a copy down there in the 88.
Got a copy, guys. What's up?
How's that Chevrolet working for you? How's the track?
It's a little tight. Racetrack's a little tight, but we're just a little bit mired back in traffic right now. I feel like we got a good run car for about 10 laps or so, so we got to fix the long run a little bit to compete with the 37 and the 18. But we're going to keep working on it and just try and get through some of this traffic and get back up there.
All right, guys, thank you, Dohar. We're back green here at Richmond. Track bar was able to save his car after running in the back of Carroll, but Zane, we got a new person running at P2. It's going to be the 22 car, Badeschi.
Brian Tedeschi is catching up to track bar. The Bolt got stuck out high going through turn 1 and 2, couldn't close the gap. Now he's in third place with pressure from the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. as we go down the backstretch.
Yep, coming down the backstretch into turn 3. We got a 4-car breakaway right here. Mr. Track Bar's leading the pack. Here running at P4 is going to be the 17 of Fluffy, 18 of Bolt, 22 of Badeschi. Running in P6 is going to be the 48 of Amora Smoke, followed by the 88 of Dohar.
The 48 will be in P5 and the 88 will be in P6 now as we come through the corners here. And look at the Bolt trying to sneak up to Tedeschi. We're looking up the rear decklet of the 37 as we hit the stripe going into 1.
Yeah, I don't know how patient. No, both been patient running P2 behind that 37. I don't necessarily know how patient he's going to be running behind that 22 Badeschi, especially since he knows his car's a little bit better than his, and he wants to keep his eyes on the 37. Here they are coming out of front stretch. Maybe Bolt goes this time down into turn 1, checks out of it. We'll see. He's getting low at a turn 2, Zane.
Down the backstretch, the Bolt tried to close the gap within less than half a car length. Slings it out high. The Tedeschi in the 22 sticks to the yellow line off of turn 4. Down the front stretch still. Track bar, Badeschi, the Bolt, your top 3.
Yeah, top 3. We got right there 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. getting a little bit tight. Coming out of turn 4, slap the wall. And there's that 22 slapping the wall out of turn 2. You know, I'm noticing something from Badeschi's line. He is really using that right front up.
Lap 114 in the book of 200. The Bolt now putting the pressure on the 22. He's looking to the inside. Can't quite get to the quarter panel as we come off of turn 2 down the backstretch.
Yeah, the door is there, but that's just kind of running about a car length up from the yellow line down into turns 1 and 2. So if there is a time where the 18 of the Bolt can get a good run off of turn 4, get right to his corner panel, I think Bolt can get it done. He's going to arc this baby, though, coming out of the backstretch.
And looking, though, back behind the 18 of the Bolt. Right now, that fast mover, the 88 of Dohar, he talked about it in that last caution. The car's a little tight, but he's gone from 6th to 4th. Now he's trying to run down the 18 of the Bolt, but the Bolt right there on the bumper of the 22.
Yeah, Dohar now separated himself just a bit from 5th place. 5th place now, moving up to 5th place, is going to be the 48 of Amore Smoke, and I saw Zane. New person up here, P2, the 18 of the Bolt gets by Badeschi.
Moved to Badeschi to 3rd, the Bolt to 2nd, and he gave that spot away. It looked like going into 3. He's like, you know what, I just don't want to race you, man. I'm just trying to get through this. And he let the Bolt go because he knew he was faster. But now we have the battle to continue. Can the Bolt close the gap on the 37 as the laps start to wind down here at Richmond?
We saw this once before already when the Bolt clobbered the outside wall. He was able to chase him down, so I think the 18 of the Bolt can chase him down yet again. And if I think the 18 of the Bolt does chase him down, that kind of solidifies that the 18 might have the best car out on track.
The 18 might have the best car, but lap traffic now. Oh! And 9 car just cuts off Brian Tedeschi, like slams the door on him like a thunderstorm on a Saturday night, says, I don't know who you are, but you're not getting around me.
I don't know what happened to the Bolt.
The Bolt just had something happen. He slowed way up. He's going to let the 22 of Brian Tedeschi get around him here. Move the Bolt to third. Tedeschi to second as we come off of 3 and 4.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what happened. The 9 car disappeared. He's off down on pit road. That was very interesting to say.
I wonder if he thought a caution came out after that incident. He looked in his rearview mirror, saw that happen, and maybe he lifted a little early. But now he's got to make up all that ground and work. He's got to get around the 22 of Tedeschi and still run down our race leader, Track Bar, who's led almost every lap this race.
Yeah, and there is the 18 of Bolt kind of giving the bumper a little bit to the 22 Badeschi. And Badeschi, yep, there it is yet again, kind of letting the 18 go by. He knows he's got a faster car than him. Badeschi's kind of running a smart race. He knows he's got about a third-place car as they run right now, barring any more pit adjustments from that camp to give him just a little bit faster. Zane, is this enough to get him in?
It might be enough to get him in. Dohar's pretty far back, but Dohar also had a nice points lead on Tedeschi. Taking a look, he had 28 points over Tedeschi. So that means Dohar's got to finish out of the top 15 for Tedeschi to have a shot here in third place. But you know what I want to do, HD? The Bolt's been so strong, I want to go in car for a lap just to listen to how the Bolt is driving this race car here.
Sounds good.
And there you heard it just a little bit, fans. Lifting barely so, back on the throttle, very smooth, but he did get a little loose coming off of turn 2 there, almost smacked the outside wall, saved it, but he is starting to reel in that 37 car, bringing Tedeschi with him.
Yeah, but Badeschi's kind of still hanging on just a bit. He's running just outside of 5 car lengths. We'll call it 7 as they enter down into turn 1. Badeschi's kind of driving it into the corner, and I thought of something when you're going in car with him. You said he's kind of lifting just barely. There are several ways to run Richmond Raceway. Some guys might lift and coast through the whole corners. Other guys might break just a bit. Me, myself, and I'm actually a trail breaker here at Richmond Raceway. I don't really like coasting it in. I kind of like trailing it just a bit to set that car up for the exit.
Just give it a little bit of a pump, right, and let it straighten itself out and get back on the throttle. I feel you there. That's how I will usually drive this track. I get yelled at because usually my lift point is the safety light going into 1. It tells me, hey, off the throttle, give it a little bit of a break, and get back on about midway through. And we're kind of seeing that between the Bolt and Tedeschi right now as they're driving to 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Bolt's kind of reeling him just a bit, but it's still sitting 10 car lengths. I don't fully expect him to get there this green flag run. I don't think he's going to have enough time. I think the biggest time he's going to be able to make up on Mr. Track Bar is pit road. And Zane, all season long, no one has been better than Track Bar entering pit road. I mean, the guy is phenomenal. He just outbreaks everybody. He always comes out, it seems like, with a 10-plus car length lead.
He's got the strategy down. He's got pit road, and that's really where a lot of this race matters. Granted, you're putting the hands of the race, or you're putting the fate of the race in the hands of your pit crew, but really it's all about that entry and exit, that delta. How much space can you create? And we're seeing it week in, week out. He's got a huge gap when he comes off of pit road, where it is time to chase down the leader, which usually is the 37 car.
Yeah, and that's why, in my opinion, he's one of the best in the game, if not the best, because there really is no weakness of Track Bar. One weakness I might say is he's always go, go, go. He wants to go fast every single lap. He wants to be the fastest every single lap, and that may tend to hurt him just a bit.
But with Track Bar, though, we're starting to see some of that break away from him a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, we thought the same thing. He then lifted and let the Bolt get in front of it and used the draft from the Bolt to pull him around the track because he knew he was going to be short a couple of laps. I think he's starting to mature behind this wheel and in this driver's seat and getting smarter with just instead of pure speed, it's a little bit more strategy involved. As we watch the 37 catch up to lap traffic of the 25, he's going to let the 37 go.
Yeah, with Track Bar catching that lap traffic, it actually kind of killed his momentum. He caught him at the wrong time. Bolt was able to make about 2 to 3 car lengths. But look right behind the Bolt, Zane. That 22 car is going nowhere anytime soon. He still runs about 4 car lengths away.
He's only 4 car lengths away, and the Bolt can't stretch his legs right now. Not able to get those runs that he used to, and now he's running in the lap traffic. He's going to try to figure out where he's going to go as the 25 looks to be able, as pulled off the track down on the pit road. Looks like that might be the end of the night for the 25 car.
Yeah, he kind of bounced into that pit box. Looks like a blown engine. You hate to see that for Carroll. Tough break here at Richmond Raceway for him.
And looking here, lap 138 in the books, 139 is going on here of 200. So we're starting to reel in the end of this race as the Bolt is starting to reel in lap traffic to get around the 11 car.
Yeah, 11 car, though, getting him plenty of room. It didn't really affect him too much. He's still going to run about 10 car lengths away from Mr. Track Bar. As, again, they got to be about 10 laps away from that green flag pit stop.
Very close to it. Sitting back and forth. You got a more smoke. He's been running in the top 5. He's been very strong tonight. Very quiet from that 48, but still staying dominant, staying strong in that top 5 with the 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse right behind him.
Yeah, going back here just a bit. Yeah, there's Fluffy Stenhouse, and I'm back here actually with the 88 of Dohar. He's got the 6 of Tom Tom right behind him. Followed by looks to be maybe the 3 of J-Mac. It looks like the 32 of Go Fast Matt. Now, Zane, I ask you, strategy play here. Green flag pit stops coming up. The laps are winding down. Are you stretching the fuel? Maybe you'll catch a caution at the right time. Remember, if you put the 18 in the Bolt 2 laps down and a caution comes out, that would be huge. I don't think there's enough time for them to make that up.
There's not enough time to make that up with the laps winding down, but right now I'm on board with the 88 as he gets passed by the 6 car Tom Tom. But these 2 cars that we're looking at, the 3 of J-Mac, the 88 of Dohar, these have been the tacticians all season long. J-Mac almost a few times won it. Actually, it looks like that's going to be the 8 car. Yep, that's the 8 car. Sorry, that's going to be the 8 of Big John back behind Dohar. As 17 of Fluffy Stenhouse looks to give the international symbol for I'm going to bring her down. No, he just got loose off a 2.
That seems to be a common theme, getting loose off a 2, saying, "Dear Lord, please don't smack that inside wall." Able to hold on to it, though. But yeah, excuse me, that's actually the 8 of Big John. And Big John getting a little bit of loose. He's going to tap the outside wall. That's going to allow the 32 of Go Fast Matt pick up a position.
And see, I really want to know, though, Dohar, does he have the strategy to win this race? We know he's won races on fuel mileage before. As we're watching the 32 of Go Fast Matt try to run him down here. But the laps are winding down. Do you take the chance? Do you really take the chance of getting caught in that weird cycle of being a few laps down? Or if you're the leaders, like you talked about with the Bolt and Track Bar, when do you decide to go down pit road? Can you stretch it long enough to where you can make it on maybe a stop and a half, or get lucky with one more stop under a caution?
Well, they're about, 140, so they got 60 laps to go, so that means they're going to have at least one more pit stop before this thing is all said and done. If I'm Track Bar, I'm sitting in a good spot. I'm kind of watching the people behind me, see when they go down. Maybe I go down a lap or 2 farther than them, because I know I'm still going to come out with the race lead, barring any pit stop penalties. But if I'm like these guys, Dohar, the 6 of Tom Tom, 8 of Big John, 17 of Fluffy's actually coming down right now. I'm actually lifting, I'm saving, I'm trying to trap these guys just in case a caution does come out.
It looks like Go Fast Matt in the 32 went with the 17 of Fluffy. We're on board with the 37 looking at his front windshield, and he is really just floating this car through the corners, not really overdriving it. I think he just might be saving why he's leading here. He's got a big enough lead.
And I'm I don't even see the 18 of Bolt behind him, so I'm assuming Bolt's down pit road.
We could definitely try to take a look. Bolt is in his
there he
stall.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, he just pulled in, so we'll see what Track Bar does. Last time he went about 1 to 2 more laps farther than the Bolt. Track Bar
coming down pit road.
Here, coming down into turns 3 and 4.
Now let's see if we can't find that 22. 22's coming off pit road. The 18 right in front of the 22. They're going to come off pit road together here.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big race. Again, Brian Badeschi's sitting in a spot where he needs to basically win to be in. Running in 3rd place once this thing cycles through. Has the 18 of the Bolt in his sights.
And we're going to see as they cycle through here, the Bolt coming through 1 and 2 right now. The 22 of Tedeschi right in his tire tracks, about 2 car lengths back. The question is, where does Track Bar pop out? When will Track Bar hit the track to take back over his lead?
Yeah, and Bolt trying to fight through lap traffic. He's actually going to split them 3 wide here. Down the front stretch into turn 1. As we're looking for Track Bar. Track Bar is long gone. Coming off of turn 2.
There's Track Bar now. We're watching him. And that gap has gotten a little bit smaller, though. But guess what? The Bolt's got to get around lap traffic. The 24 of Jose, 720 in front of him. He's going to get around him. But the Bolt is driving like a man possessed right now. Threading the needle. Dive bombing the corners. Doing everything he can to cash his Chevrolet Camaro.
Yeah, he actually separated the lead a little bit from the 22 car. Badeschi's sitting about 4 car lengths away from him as the Bolt is closing in. 7 car lengths away from Mr. Track Bar with about 50 to go.
Yep, we're closing up here right now. It looks like that's going to complete lap 50 of 150 of 200. We're coming to complete lap 150 to going to 151. And look who's in front of the 37. That's going to be Dohar in the 88.
Hey man, was I right? Was I right? 50 to go. I'm too
You were
good
on
at
it.
Guessing. Even 2 weeks off, man, I'm still that good. But yeah, the 88 of Dohar trying to stretch the field, if I'm not mistaken. Checking up big time. Down in a turn 3. I still don't think he's been down, Zane.
I don't think he's been down either, but you're seeing right now fresh tires versus old tires. How detrimental that is to your run right now. He is barely holding on as the 37, the 18, and the 22. Actually, I lied. The 22 is nowhere near him. But the 37 and the 18 are just starting to get up and walk away from him.
Yeah, 22 is going to need a caution if I think he wants to win this race. He's now about 10 car lengths off from the 18 of the Bolt. I think 18 of the Bolt maybe sees blood in the water, sees that wounded gazelle, got it a little healthier over the weekend, extended the lead just a bit to over 10 car lengths. But Bolt is sniffing him out, trying to tie Mr. Track Bar with 4 wins.
But he's got to try to run him down. He's got cars in front of him. The 9 car right there. That black and yellow car, Chevrolet you see, has had a rough race tonight. Saw him smack the outside wall. Fluffy's going to move out of the way. Let the 18 go. The 9's going to move out of the way now. He's going to let the 18 go. So now the Bolt's got no traffic in front of him, but at least 15 car lengths almost a turn away to cash this 37, and he throws it in deep into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and we were just talking about Dohar, whether or not he pitted. Well, here he is coming off a pit road. That answered that question. That means he's got to go about 45 laps on 1 tank of gas. I don't know if he can do it, but if anybody can, it's definitely going to be the 88.
The 88, he's a strategist. He's a tactician. The Doharian Snowcat, he might have figured something out here. He might have gotten his pen and paper out, had it on his leg while racing, and was like, you know what? This is the math count I got to do. If I can hit this lap count, I can run the rest of the way on green.
It's going to be close, man. I mean, you know, anybody that punches the number more than anybody, it's definitely going to be that 88 of Dohar. He might have something up his sleeve. He actually won an NNR race saving field. If I'm not mistaken, it was at Richmond. So maybe he can do it again.
And I'm looking at the 18 car right now, HD, and from a couple of different angles, that 18's got some massive hood damage. That front end looks a little crinkled. Lots of gaps, but no sealing going on here. So that might be fighting the handling of that 18 car right now.
It might be, or it might be just a visual effect that we're seeing. You know, maybe it happened when he went down pit road You know, AI does kind of like to cause a little bit of damage on your car, but it doesn't necessarily mess with it. As he caught the 11 at the wrong time, coming off of turn 2, that's going to kill his momentum.
And the 11 car was just trying to get down pit road. But take a look back here. Let's see if we can't find them real quick. The 22 and the 88. Look at this battle between these two.
And I'm trying to cycle back. Where are you at, Badeshi? There you are. Yep, the 88 of Dohar right behind him. Now we're talking about the fuel strategy game. Dohar trying to save. Doesn't quite look like it.
Doesn't quite look like it, but he's not going to be racing for position with the 22, as back in 4th place will be a more smoke. He's going to be about, gosh, I'm doing some math. The leader's 9 seconds ahead of him. What would you say? Tedeschi's probably 3 to 4 seconds ahead of the 4th place car of a more smoke.
I don't do seconds, man.
You can do lap counts, but you can't do seconds.
No, I'm gonna say it's way more than 3 to 4. So I don't even see the 48.
Within 40 to go, or under 40 to go here at Richmond right now, and the gap between the 22, the 18, and the 37 is huge. We're talking 15 plus car lengths, and I just gotta say, Track Bar's on rails right now in this last stint of the race.
Yeah, I think Bolt's actually going to need a caution if he wants a chance to be able to get up to him and race with it, especially with under 40 laps to go. Now, Zane, if you're a driver out here, are you playing the pit strategy of pit when we're good, get the fresh tires when we can, and race it to the end?
Run it out until she's dry. Pray no cautions come out, and hopefully I have enough fuel in the tank to get me there. I'll baby her through the corners if I can, because if those guys behind me don't pit, we're all in the same boat. And Track Bar was the last one to pit in this group of 3. We know Tedeschi and the 18 went down together, while Track Bar stayed out 1 extra lap.
Track Bar did stay out 1 extra lap, and something we might be looking at here before it's all said and done is 2 tire pit stops. If it falls just right, how many people practice that, I am not sure. But if they do it, that car is going to be wicked loose coming off of turn 2.
And if anyone practiced 2 tires pit stops, you know it was Track Bar. That man sat in the hotel room on the nights of the eNASCAR Heat Pro League races till 4 a.m. tweaking and working on that car just to find an extra 2/10 on restarts. So you know he's tested and battled out with 2 tire stops.
Wow, HD was out riding a mechanical bull. Maybe that's what happened during the season to me. I was too focused on riding mechanical bulls than my car. But yeah, you know, Track Bar tests everything. The guy's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of knowledge with setups as well. And that definitely helps and solidifies one of the reasons why he's the best on the game.
And if you don't know, HD only lasted 3.5 seconds the first time he got on that mechanical bull. He dusted himself off, he got back on, gave the head nod, and lasted the full 8 seconds the second time, jumped off like he was a champion, and then realized that it was all for fun and not a real rodeo.
But who lasted longer than him, Zane? On the
Well,
mechanical bull.
I'm just
Who was
gonna-
the other redhead in the pro league.
I just want to say your hips don't lie. You just know how to rotate them right. That's all it is, Dohar. You should be focusing
Yeah,
on
so far
racing.
it did well for me. As you can tell, we're in full conservation mode here in the Hendrick camp. Just want to give you in on the Dohar pit strategy insight of the night. Jose is currently 2 laps short of making it on like with no stop. I'm about 5 laps short, so that's going to be the race, is watching the 24 Jose 720 and me, seeing if we could do it, because the gap in Delta is there with Track Bar, so we're just going to see if we can make it. We're going to go for a Hail Mary here in the waning stages of the season, try and get a victory.
His hips don't lie, and he's going for a Hail Mary in that 88 machine of Dohar. Thank you for that insight, man. Good luck to you. We'll let you focus on the race.
I just want to
Thanks,
point out he said the other ginger, but there's about 4 other gingers in this pro league thing.
There's a lot.
I think there was more gingers than blondes, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you got you, Red, Dohar. Who's the other ginger, though?
Jacob Kerr.
Oh, Jacob, that's right. He had the Amish little beard going on. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man, gingers unite. Woo! But yeah, that's definitely interesting field strategy right there. Jose 720 barring he's got to save 2 laps of fuel. Zane, I think he gets that done. And honestly, I think Dohar gets the 5 laps of fuel saved as well. And he said the fuel strategy is in play. The Delta is good. So stay tuned here to find out who's going to win at Richmond Raceway, brought to you by FilterTime.
And I'm trying to find the 24 car right now. I'm bouncing through the field trying to find him. There he is, Jose 720. He's back here coming off of turn 2. He's got Fluffy Stenhouse in the 17 behind him. Now into turn 3. Man, it's going to be close, real tight. Dohar said he was 5 laps short. San Jose's 2 laps short. If someone puts some pressure on you, that can go right out the window real quick.
You can definitely tell that 24 car is in full conversation. He's in full savings, but I'm not going to try and say that. It's too late.
Conservation mode?
Yeah, it's too late to be talking big college words. I'm tired, all right? Yeah, he's definitely in saving mode here. You can tell he's letting up big time. Actually looks like 17 of Fluffy might be trying to save just a bit. Try a 2-tire stop.
24 to go, HD, so it's grinded down real quick here. Papa Time is showing up and saying, you know what, boys? It's almost over as we watch Track Bar get a little sideways through the middle of 2.
66 is around. Oh, big wreck down into turn 3. 66 is up into the catch fence. There's the 18 of the boat getting involved. Caution should be out.
That just changed everything. All that strategy talk just went out the window, because guess what? That's going to give these guys enough fuel and tires to make it to the end.
Yep.
You know who didn't want to see that? That 37 at Track Bar. 88 as well.
I want to say 88 and 24 didn't want to see that.
Yeah.
'Cause they very well could have won that thing. Now I'm sure they're trapped a couple laps down. That's going to kill them. You know, Track Bar doesn't want to see it because he pretty much almost had that thing won, barring any fuel strategy from the 88 and 24. Yep. But good God almighty, did you see the 66? It looked like Austin Dillon at Daytona. The dude was just caught in the catch fence in turn 3.
And caught a lap down will be Dohar and Go Fast. Matt, from what I saw there, TomTom's going to get your lucky dog as they come off of turn 4. And who is that? That's going to be Track Bar and the 22 Tedeschi leading us to green as we're green flag racing at Richmond once again.
Yeah, green flags in the air, brought to you by FilterTime as a double wide down into turn 1. Mr. Track Bar, your race leader. 22, but as she needs to win if he wants to make it to the final dance. 18 of Bolt running at P3.
Tedeschi saying, save that last dance for me as they come off a 3 down the front stretch. But Track Bar stretching his legs out. The 22's got a whole lot of mirror of that Camry of the 18 as we come through 1 and 2.
Yeah, if we learned anything with the 22 car, Tedeschi actually has a pretty good short run car. He's able to hang up with the 37 of Track Bar and the 18. Track Bar, though, gapping them just a bit with a 2-car length lead as they go down to turn 1.
Less than 20 laps to go in this race. It's Track Bar, Tedeschi, the Bolt, and then a gaggle of cars for 4th between the 17 to 3, and it looks like, I can't tell, the 48 of them more smoke back there with Jose and Fluffy Stenhouse as well.
Yeah, Jose's back there. You know, he's a little bit mad about that pit strategy, but he's fighting himself, possibly fighting for that lucky dog position if a caution does come out. But we got a battle for a second down into turn 3. Bolt is down on the inside of the 22, Tedeschi coming off of turn 4.
Slide job!
Slide job. But here comes the Tedeschi, though, looking for the crossover into turn 1.
He can't clear him. Can't do it. He can't get the opening. Tedeschi's going to fall back to 3rd. Powering off a turn 2 down the backstretch, but he can't get to the quarter panel. Here we go into turn 3. Is he going to move the 18 in the Bolt? He's going to fall in line as a single file out, but he is in that shadow right there at that gap. He can make a move as we go into 1.
As we go in the 1, the person who's loving this the most is definitely going to be the 37 at Track Bar because he's gapped them about 7 to 10 car lengths down into turn 3 out of 4.
We're going to have 15 to go this time by. You know that this is what Track Bar wants. These two battling it out. He's created about an 8 car length gap between the 18 and the 22 as we ride through 1 and 2 off of 2 into the backstretch.
As we come down the backstretch, 18 of Bolt starting to gap the 22, but actually now he's got about a 2-car length lead as we're winding down to about 15 to go at Richmond.
And the laps are winding down faster than you expect. And you know who doesn't want to see these laps start to wind down this fast is that 22 of Brian Tedeschi. He needs a win, because if you win, you're in. As the Bolt gets a little slideways off of turn 2 down the backstretch, tries to stick it back on the bottom line as they come off of 4.
Yeah,
Caution's out.
actually, and that's going to help the 22 because he's going to be sitting P3. Zane, I ask you, do you pit?
Oh, yes. There's not that many cars on the lead lap. Only 10 cars on the lead lap right now. I'm definitely going down, making some adjustments because you know what? I know I'll stay in the top 3. And if I'm the Bolt, I know I can get around the 22. I don't know if I can get around that 37 car. I got to do whatever I can to get past him.
I think there's going to be a few guys elect not to pit. Once we get back going green, there's probably going to be about 10 to 12 laps. Lord knows we may see another caution. I think someone might play track strip position strategy, and it may pan out for them. Stay tuned to find out here. Again, this eSpark series is brought to you by FilterTime.
All right, Track Bar's our leader. Bolt on the outside. Fluffy is third. It looks like Tedeschi's going to be fourth, and More Smoke's going to round out our top 5 as we're green flag racing at Richmond for the final time, hopefully.
Yeah, green flags in the air here as they go down into turn 1. 18 a Bolt on the outside, 17 a Fluffy there. Running in P3 is a single foul out down into turn 3.
And the Bolt didn't lift on the outside, but he's stuck on the outside as Fluffy's on his inside as we come off of turn 4. Got into his corner panel. Now it's a drag race down the front stretch. And Track Bar wants to see this like Emperor Palpatine. Ooh, yes, yes. And the Bolt gets into the 17.
And a 22, but actually flexing his muscles just a bit as he moves up to P2. He may have fresh tires while these other guys staying out. 3 wide back here in the middle of the pack.
I'm trying to find it right now. Tedeschi's a hard man to find.
Yeah, he's up here running in P2. Laps winding down. He needs to win. 18 a Bolt running P3. 80 a Dohar making his way up to 4th.
Lap 93 in the books right now. This time by hitting lap 194 of 200. And it's a Track Bar race if no one else can catch him.
Yeah, but as she kind of tapered out just a bit, running about 7 car lengths back from that 37 of Track Bar. He may need one more caution. The problem is, caution flies. You're starting on the outside, and we haven't seen anybody be able to maintain that.
No, and we look at it right now as they run the 37 of Track Bar, the 22 of Tedeschi, the 18 of the Bolt, the 88 of Dohar in 4th, and then a More Smoke in that 48 getting pressure from the 6th car, rounding out our top 5.
As they come by this time, Zane, I think they got about 5 or 4 to go. Not really too sure, but it's not a lot of time. We got the 18 of Bolt now starting to put pressure on that 22. The 88's kind of catching up here just a bit.
And here we go into turn 3. Here's Track Bar, our leader, coming off of turn 4. This is going to complete lap 196 on to 197 of 200 with 3 laps to go at Richmond.
Yeah, 3 laps, and there goes the 18 of Bolt. 18 of Bolt moving up to P2, but as she's running at P3, and this may be a blessing in disguise because if a caution comes out, he will be on the inside line, and he will be able to challenge Track Bar for the race win here.
And Tedeschi and Bolt are battling it out as Track Bar is starting to walk away here. Lap 198, double popsicles in the air, this time by as we come to get the flag of 199. And this is what Track Bar wants. Nobody behind them, nobody in front of them.
Yeah, white flags in the air here this time by, brought to you by FilterTime as Mr. Track Bar's closing into turns 1 and 2. He's got this race won. I do not see him losing anything here coming towards turns 3 and 4.
White flag in the air. One more lap to go for the 37 of Mr. Track Bar. He wants no one to wreck. He's got this race in the bag. Through 1 and 2. Smooth. Putting that car right on the yellow line. Behind him is the 18, the 22, the 88, and the 48. Down the backstretch for the last time. 2 more corners to go for Mr. Track Bar in the 37. Off of turn 3, through turn 4, down the front stretch, and the 37 of Track Bar is going to win at Richmond. Second will be the Bolt. Tedeschi will come in 3rd. Dohar is 4th, and some more smoke. Staying in the top 5 strong is going to round out your top 5 for tonight. And then it looks like Tom 6th, Fluffy 7th, J-Mac 8th, Jose 720 is 9th, and I think Go Fast was 10th to round out our top 10 finishers here at Richmond, HD.
Yeah, overall, pretty good race, man. You know, Richmond Raceway is one of those tracks, and Zane, I actually think I won the caution bet because I don't even think we hit 5 cautions. I think it was about 4 or 3, not really too sure. But
No,
there he is, track bars in the booth.
I think we actually hit 5. I think we hit 4 to 5. So you're actually on the money tonight for your first night back. I feel like you're cheating a little bit there. Way to go, man. Good calls on the cautions. Great race tonight, and we have our winner, probably our championship point center going into next week's mystery race. So stick around because we still have the wheel of finales. We will find out where these drivers will race next week for the finale of the FilterTime eSpark series. But the smoke is cleared. He's getting out. He's doing the icky shuffle. He spiked his helmet on top of his 37. Mr. Trackbar, how does it feel to be a winner at Richmond?
It feels pretty great, man. That was a really good race on behalf of everybody at eSpark. And that was a really good job on everybody's part to have a really long green flag run attrition style race. I mean, it was. Whew, I'm a little bit worn out. My fingers kept falling asleep during that runs. I don't know why, man. I kept having to like rub my fingers down the straightaways. Like, come on now, work.
Doing a little side rub on your legs. You're just like, oh, come on, warm up, warm up, warm up.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. I kept slapping. I was trying to find something warm to stick it to. I didn't have enough time to go in a caution to grab something, so had to do what I had to do.
Well, Trackbar, with that last caution, if that caution didn't come out, how good were you to the end? Did you have to make another pit stop? Were you going to go 2 tires or 4 tires? What was your strategy if you stayed green?
Yeah, I would have had to pit one more time. I'm pretty sure everybody did, but my car could stay out a really long time for tires, but Bolt kept pitting before me, and I didn't want to give up too much time to him, a fresh rubber and everything, so I just waited about 2 laps after him to pit when I could have stretched a few more laps. And I mean, I felt like I was in a catbird seat at that point. I had about a 2-second lead. I just kept trying to manage my gap and everything. I set my car up really tight for the long runs and stuff like that, and he was faster than me the first 10 to 15 laps of the run, and after that I'm pretty sure I had more drive off than him. But it made it for a really good long run car, and I thought I had it, and I saw that caution. I was like, oh, here we go. And I started making a few adjustments here and there. For that last run, I was like, all right, I'm just going to take off, give it 150%, and that's what I did.
You got 5 wins on the season. They're the most winningest driver in the eSpark series. With that win tonight, going into the finale, what track do you want to see that you race at next week?
I mean, anything but Talladega or Daytona would be fine with me. Or road course, like a speedway, if it's like Kentucky or Kansas, anything we've raced on before. Any tracks we haven't raced on, Charlotte. I don't think we've raced Chicagoland. Or, you know, if it's going to be a last race finale thing, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to be an auto club. That's just my opinion.
Well, we're about to find out where we're going to go. Trackbar, you won tonight. Congratulations on your win. Go celebrate with your team. Before you do that, who do you want to thank for this win at Richmond Raceway?
I want to thank JTG Doherty Racing for supporting me from the Pro League into this. I want to thank you guys for putting on this broadcast. I want to thank Bolt for running me pretty clean. He was faster than me, like I said, the first 10, 15 laps of run because I had it set up tight, and he could have used a bumper on me or something like that, and he didn't do it. I want to thank all the lap cars for being courteous, moving out the way, not giving us a hard time, and I just thank God. That's all else I could think of. And my dog, he's over here staring at me. He's been listening to me sawing on the wheel the last 2 hours. So
Go give that dog a walk. Stick around, though. We're about to announce the finale where you drivers will be racing next week for the FilterTime eSpark series. And HD, I think you're down there with the 18 of the Bolt. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. Bolt, you got a copy.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, man, I've been saying it all year long. A patient bolt is a dangerous bolt. You really showed it tonight. You know, Trackbar actually gave you a quick shout out. He said you had a quicker car than him about 10 to 15 laps into the run. After that, kind of tapered off just a bit. Now, looking back at it, I know it's secondhand. Is there anything else you could have done differently to be able to come out with the win?
Oh man, it was really tough. Just want to thank all the guys who've been supporting me. I got to thank Frydog and Freddie, my teammates, for being great support. And Turner's in the party with me right now, RSR Turner. Thanks to him as well. Everyone has been supporting me throughout this. I mean, I don't know. I really, when I was on the outside on a restart, I really didn't want to pin him down because that would have hurt my corner. So I had a wider entry, but I was just really tight center. And that's where I would lose the end tight on entry. That final run, we were super tight on entry. we were just making ourselves vulnerable because there are guys who peek on the inside, and it was just kind of causing me to lose a lot of time. But I don't know, really. We had a really good car in the long run anyway. When we were with Track Bar, we were gapping, and I felt like we had something pretty good. I was just very loose off the 2. I was fine off 4, but off the 2, there was that little bit of a bump, and that was causing me to be very loose. I don't know how else I could have changed it other than making the car super tight, but I did not want that. The car was pretty good. So yeah, just got to thank everyone. Got to thank you guys for putting on these fantastic streams. It's great to have you back, HC, man. It's been a long time. It's great to see you back in the booth. Got to thank Track Bar for racing me clean. Had a lot of fun racing him this season. And on to the next race, wherever that will be. We won the regular season championship too, which is pretty awesome. And all my family and friends have been supporting me throughout this, and everyone who's been supporting me through the Pro League, trying to make it back for season 2. It's been a goal of mine. I have big dreams in the future, make it into NASCAR industry. So it's like my stepping stone into there. So hopefully everything will work out in the end. Had a really great season so far. Hopefully ended off on a high note. And just thanks to you and Zane for everything. Dohar for running the league. Great race.
Hey, man, it's definitely a great race and great running by you. Before you go, man, got to ask you, what track are you hoping for?
Pretty much what Track Bar said. Anything other than a super speedway. I don't know, that'd be the best place to decide a championship for one. But I'm cool for road course. Any speedway, like for example Kentucky or Homestead or like those kind of tracks. I don't know about an auto club or Michigan. I think that may be too draft heavy. A short track would be good, but the only problem with a short track is people may bump you out of the way for a win or dump you for a championship win, and that's not the kind of racing I like. I kind of like to drive like Mark Martin, not really have too much contact, try and race clean for a win. So preferably not that. Any good speedway that's nice where we can get some good racing, good hard fair racing. Something like that.
All right, man, sounds good. Zane?
I will say this. I know for a fact that there was 28 drivers that all said they would bump their grandma out of the way for a championship. So I don't know if I believe Bolt on that last statement, but he had a hell of a run this season. I think he's absolutely right that he did lock himself in as the regular season champion going into the finale here next week, because the Track Bar was 2 points behind, but Bolt finished second. It's gonna shake things up. It sucks to see it for Tedeschi. He's gonna finish outside that cut line. Dohar's gonna lock himself in. Big John's gonna lock himself in for the championship run next week. Speaking of Dohar, the man, the myth, the Doharian snowcat that lives in the wild, the endangered species. Are we ready to do the wheel of finales? Can we talk about it? Can we tell them the tracks that are on the list? Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I think it's time. It's what everybody's waiting for. It's pretty simple, guys. This is the system I came up with at the beginning of the season, just to make this series a little different, kind of add a little edge to it, a little bit of unpredictability. Every track in the game, except for Sonoma and Canadian Tire, is fair game to be on there. So whatever happens, it's any track in the game but those two, and Eldora, obviously, because we don't run trucks. But, nothing else to talk about, Zane. I think it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Hey, we'll go. Let me ask you, Dohar, where do you want to go before we start this little bit off?
Where do I want to go? There are a lot of good quality tracks that I'd love to go to. But I'm kind of with you. We talked before we went on air. I wanted to go to Gateway, WWT. Yep. It's a different place to go. I want to go there.
That's what I'm feeling as well. HD, how about you? Where do you want to go tonight or next week?
Man, I kind of want to see a short track. Well, no, Mountain Half. Mountain Half's pretty good racing. I'm kind of with these guys. I hope it's not like a Talladega or Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with like a Kansas again. Highline track creates a lot of good racing. Or even a Chicagoland. I think that can be a little bit good.
Well, right now, as we've been talking, the fans in chat have been looking at the wheel of the FilterTime eSpark finale. I'm just going to list off the tracks that are on this wheel so you guys have an understanding of where you could go as a driver and where we could be going as fans and broadcasters next week for the eSpark finale. You have Bristol, the Roval, Texas, Iowa, Michigan, Road America, Worldwide Technology, where I want to see this race go, Kansas, New Hampshire, Pocono, Mid-Ohio, Auto Club, Watkins Glen, Kentucky, Atlanta, Darlington, Chicagoland, Charlotte, ISM, Talladega, Martinsville, Las Vegas, where we raced last week, and then the mother of all super speedways, Talladega, or Daytona, I apologize, where the boys of the real NASCAR series will be racing the 500 tomorrow because it was rained out. But no more gabbing, no more talking. Let's spin the wheel of Filter Time finale. Where she'll stop, nobody knows. Where are we going? Here we go.
This is fun, man.
Road America! So next week for the Filter Time eSpark Series finale, 40 of the best Xbox custom setup drivers will be going to Road America, but 10 drivers will be racing it out for a championship on one of the greatest road courses in the U.S., Road America. Dohar, let's go to you. How do you feel about going there next week to race for a championship?
Well, earlier in the season when we were at this race before the series got broadcasted by you two lovely folks, we finished second to the Bolt. So we've got a little bit of a gap to make up to get to the time there that we need to be. But yeah, we wanted different and we got different. So that's what it is, man. I don't know what to say. Everybody's freaking out in the chat right now. In our eSpark driver chat, everybody's freaking out. So yeah, here we go.
Well, I'll tell you this. It was like a Grand Theft Auto wheel spin for me because it was just, I'm talking a centimeter away from worldwide technology. We just needed to roll. I was blowing at the screen everything I could, but we couldn't get worldwide to go to Gateway. We're going to Road America. HD, your thoughts on going there next week for the finale?
I'm glad I'm up in the booth with you, Zane.
I'm just saying I'm glad in the booth too because it's going to be AC'd and a lot of track to cover.
Yeah, it's gonna be AC. It's gonna have a lot of good filter time filters. It's gonna smell great up here. I think it's gonna be an exciting race to call. I know the Bolt is gonna be one of the heavy favorites coming into this, but don't throw a track bar out, man. I know he's gonna put a lot of time into this, and I think it's gonna be exciting. I think different is good, and this is good.
Well, let's get their reactions. They're still here with us. Let's see if we can't. Bolt, you got a copy down there?
That's good.
You're going to Road America for the championship finale. What's your initial thoughts?
Good.
Good?
I mean, it's cool and all. We have a pretty strong car there. My only main concern really is just hope that it's a good, clean race. Doesn't matter the track. To be honest, with 10 guys running for a championship, there's a lot on the line, and I just really want there to be good, clean, fair racing. I just want, I just want it to be class tag racing. I'll be making mistakes here or there, but just hopefully no bump and runs, dump and runs, or anything like that. No death match or anything. That's really my big concern going to the race, to be honest. But I mean, we're pretty strong there, so hopefully we come away with the win. Just I'm pretty happy about it, but it's all about the race itself, and hopefully we win it. Yeah, it'll be good. Just hoping that it's a good, hard, fair race, and that's all I can really ask for. And hope that the big guy up there is looking down on me because could use some carry.
Well, I think Track Bar is not happy because I think he flipped a table on his way out of the booth when he saw Road America because he's gone, so we can't get an initial reaction to him. Well, good luck to you next week, the Bolt. Johar is as well to you. Good luck going to Road America. HD, final thoughts on tonight and going into next week.
Man, Track Bar's not mad. He's just practicing already.
He's already working on his setup.
Road America NASCAR E4. He's getting on it already. But no, man, it's going to be exciting. I don't know any other league out there to do a championship race at a road course, but it's definitely going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a wild one going to Road America. We had a great one tonight. Track Bar came out on top, but the Bolt is your regular season champion. Next week, 10 drivers will battle it out for the FilterTime eSpark inaugural championship. Who will it be? 10 of the best drivers on Xbox, but only one can walk away calling themselves a champion. For HD in the booth, for the eSpark drivers and all the production team that's been helping you bring this beautiful lights and sounds, mostly the multiple personalities in my head, I'm Zane the Bearded One. Until next time, kisses, hugs, belly rubs. We'll see you next Sunday at 11 p.m. for the FilterTime eSpark Series finale. Catch you guys on the track.